of Tanya. Just trying to get ourselves together with a groovy filter. As you see, I'm working on my lighting, right? Better than it was, right? One day I'll be able to even make a thumbnail that doesn't look scary. I see a lot of shadow over here, but you know, we're trying to improve matters and not look so ugly. Does this help? Maybe that's too much. But in any case, yes. What is going on with our friends in the world of entertainment? Why do the ladies need to give their husbands jobs? Is it because they feel sorry for their husbands and they want to give them the dignity of work? Is it that their husbands are missing their wives? They need to be at the office with a Wendy Williams, or, you know, being a contract negotiator, even though they have no other clients and have no negotiating skills, like Mr. Monique, whatever his name is, the quote best friend. I think this is her third husband, but maybe things are better now. But there was a time when Miss Monique and her husband were all over YouTube, going live together. She was calling him daddy and talking about how, you know, they're just so close. And there was something, in my opinion, super culty about it, because why do you have to like be so kind of ick about saying your pet names in front of other people? Are you trying to prove something? Because the rest of us are just looking at, you know, the trajectory of the career that really didn't go higher after the Oscar, which is not unusual, especially for women of color who have a different kind of struggle. Look at our friend Viola Davis with this year's Oscars. But, you know, we think about Patti LaBelle, we think about, you know, several prominent examples of particularly Black women who somehow get put into the position. Are they guilted into it? Is it their idea? Are the husbands or the boyfriends replacing someone? And certainly on YouTube, we've seen some very successful creators get hustled by their partner to put them on the payroll. Why? Is there something so wrong with a man going off and having his own job? Is there something so, you know, burdensome about the idea that his wife's money is her money and he should, you know, go forth and kind of find his own fortune, whether that's on social media, in acting, or beyond? I just don't see the plus. I've never seen it work out well, especially when it's time for divorce. We've been watching our friend Tia Mowry struggle with whatever's happening with her marriage to a less successful actor, Corey Hardrict, and now, you know, again, grown man. I think he's a series regular on something, but he's still trying to run her pockets with the idea that he is owed more than the free room and board and, you know, sort of support and medical coverage for his children that his wife has supplied. I don't know. Is it some kind of testimony to their manhood? Is it some kind of expression of jealousy? Could it be that someone can respect a woman and still expect her to fund his entire life? Please let me know your opinion, because it is, you know, it's just one more layer to how you have to sometimes watch your back in a marriage, right? It's not enough to kind of nurse the emotional connection, right, across the demands of child rearing and jobs that are very demanding. But then, you know, you think about, you know, women who've been unalived by their spouses recently, and certainly money pressure. You know, some of these husbands, like a Brian Walsh, felt entirely entitled to their wives supporting them for the entirety of perhaps the rest of their lives. Like, there was no interest. This is this Wet n Wild Mega Glow Illuminating palette. It's supposedly a dupe for one of the Charlotte Tilbury highlighter palettes, but just using the same brush that we use to contour with our Uoma Sharon C bronzer, which is a nice kind of dry feeling cream bronzer, but we got that on our cheeks and it's looking spectacular. Thought I might provide more entertainment value by getting some of this on the high points of the cheek. It's a wonderful brush because it's curved at the top. But yeah, what do you think? I mean, it would be as if and I think comedian Louis Anderson has talked about, you know, when he was a successful comedian, that there were people in his family that felt entitled to him giving them money. And if he didn't give them money, maybe he would try to hook them up with a job. And we certainly see, you know, nepotism across Hollywood. Is that because these people lack the gumption to go out and make their own way? The idea being that, well, you're successful, you should make me successful. Like, is anyone owed that? You know, and poor Anna Walsh, her 3 small children, she's exhausted traveling back and forth to Washington, D.C. And this husband, to my understanding, wasn't working. He was on house arrest, owing $500,000 in restitution for stolen Andy Warhol paintings, convicted in federal court. And this poor woman, you know, is telling her friends that he's sorry, and he and the mom are writing letters saying he's reformed and he regrets it and all of that. And I'm sure everyone feels embarrassed now that he stands accused of unaliving his wife. His meal ticket, if we're to be clear. And you think about the irony of people like Kanye West calling, you know, Kim Kardashian gold digger. And the irony of, you know, these sort of snooty, entitled, well-to-do men who really feel like they are owed their wives' money. Well, if you're such a man and you're such a big deal, then why are you, you know, what did Biggie Smalls say? Then why are your pockets like rabbit ears? Why are you, you know, scamming? Why is it that the rumor is that, you know, you're not a real billionaire and you owe millions of dollars to like a Jay-Z, etc.? Who knows what's true? But I will tell you this, there are certain people that you never hear rumors about them being anything but rich, rich, rich. And if there's a question, right, where there's smoke, there's fire. If people have questions and there are rumors of that sort, it stands to reason that there must be reasons why, right? Maybe the money isn't as long as the men say, but they certainly seem to be very adept at convincing a Jill Scott, a Mary J. Blige, a Patti LaBelle, that they can be trusted, that they are the one, that despite having other children and perhaps no children with the wife, that they should not only live high on the hog, but they should be employed and given a title. You know, again, Kevin Hunter wasn't on the basketball court shooting 3-pointers, as it were, with Wendy Williams. She did all that all on her own with her radio career and then her television career, and poor thing is in a not only a compromised position health-wise, but has the embarrassment and the con artist, the impact of the con artistry of the husband, taking her money, funding the lifestyle of this mistress, this side baby, the whole thing. I mean, it's like the lack of respect alone. It would be one thing if you loved and respected your spouse and just needed them to give you a leg up with your career or give you, you know, guidance, but it's not that. It's the entitlement, and it's, you can just imagine from what we've seen here on YouTube with people, you know, pretending it's not the case, but the rumor is that, you know, they've been thugging on their girlfriends to try to get onto the payroll. And if it's not up to the girlfriend or wife to say no, then it seems like narcissistic manipulation with consequences if they don't get their way. Now, every relationship is different, but no one should feel compelled to do what their lover wants, right? We've all had those encounters, friends, lovers, relatives who want their way. And if you're not going to give it to them, like a Brian Walsh, you're going to embezzle money from your own father. If the will doesn't say what you want it to say, you're going to destroy it, like a Brian Walsh. There have been countless lawsuits and, 5-finger discount relatives taking things that don't belong to them. It's just so low class and criminal, right? You can't even let yourself get bogged down into it, right? We hope that Wendy Williams and Monique and all these other women who have had these, partner employees, that, maybe they're in a better place at this moment just based on the simple performance of these, employee relatives. It's like, if he was that good at being a manager, if he was that good at whatever his job that she gave him is, then he should have been able to do more on his own, right? He should have been earning even while on house arrest, as in the case of a Brian Walsh. But, they say love is blind, but in the end, are you helping yourself by propping up a man who can't do anything on his own except run your pockets and engage in romantic fraud, right? Is your money and your success the reason that you were targeted in the first place? And that certainly applies to successful influencers who, it's one thing if you're in a couple, for all of the Ace family and other couples that are successful across social media, there are people who attempt to be so. Are those relationships sincere? We certainly know celebrities in the public eye sometimes pretend to continue a relationship that's long been dead, right? Those are the rumors about, allegedly, Tom Brady and his wife Giselle, that it had been years since they've been with other people, and sort of continuing that public couplehood for marketing reasons and other reasons, allegedly, right? And we can certainly think about our friends who were in political marriages while carrying on affairs, or people who've, fathered children outside their marriages, whether they're celebrities in politics or, whatever other realm that they're part of. It's all part of the human experience, and it's definitely word to the wise. If you're going to be in a marriage or a relationship, watch your six. Does that person really need a job from you, or are they being lazy? Does that person really love you, or did they target you because your money is long? If it weren't for you, would they be anyone's manager? Would they have that position in anyone's business? Why can't Kevin Hunter go out and produce another television show if his role was about talent ever? But I think we all know the answer to that. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I have to get back into my corner and do more boring paperwork. But this is the makeup look. Hope you can see me. I'm working on my lighting. I have a lot of shadows that I have to deal with, but we're getting there. Hopefully you can see my face better. And I will see you on the next episode of House of Tanya, Sister Says, right? Black women's experiences in love and business. Let's talk about it. Why does your husband need a job from you? Feel free to let me know your opinion, and I will see you next time. Thanks for joining me. Bye.